Technodrome. Let's kick shout.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown Media. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the Adjacent Text podcast. I will be your host this evening along with my buddy Mike, aka Broody Gambit. Broody, how's it going?
It's going great.
I see you're wearing your Prime Warden's shirt today.
I am, in fact, wearing my Prime Warden shirt. It's the one I randomly pulled out.
That is terrific. I love that shirt. So the only Sentinel shirt that I have that's not like expressly a Citizen shirt is the Absolute Zero shirt, which I love because it glows in the dark and that's super rad.
That is awesome.
But I didn't get any of the comic book cover ones, and I'm really upset about that. I'm really sad I missed that. Anyway, this is the show where Mike and I hang out on a Saturday night. I'm still on intro cam?
Prehistoric Pterosaurus.
I shouldn't be. Did that work, RPD? This is weird. Or you mean like my face cam, right? Not... Anyway. Hopefully this is... Anyway. This is the show where Mike and I hang out on a Saturday night and paint miniatures and chill and chat and listen to... Or I listen to awesome music. I don't think Mike can actually hear it because I'm not sharing... I should really share the playlist with you so you can at least hear... something, some semblance of what I'm listening to. But as with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint some minis, shall we? Yes, so now you can see Mike's awesome Prime Warden shirt. I hope that's what you were talking about, RPD. Yes, I'm aware that I was bantering over just my face being on screen. So what are you working on tonight?
I have the Sabine Wren figure for Legion.
Okay.
The operative figure, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Given the option between using the her head or her helmet, I went with the helmet.
Sure.
And she also had an option for the arm with a blaster or the Darksaber, and I decided to go with the Darksaber.
Oh, absolutely. That makes perfect sense to me.
So I decided choosing the helmet obviously instantly made it a lot harder for me, as opposed to her hair and her face, but figured I'd go for it. So
absolutely makes sense to me. I am continuing. This is the last of the Locust. This is the last one, and I'm admittedly kind of nervous about it because this is, of course, the Locust Berserker. That's all right, RPD. I hope you're enjoying your vacation. So there's really only 3 components to it. And if I do it right, I think it's going to look really good. But if I do it poorly, it's going to look really bad. What we have to work with here, and I'll use this brush to sort of indicate what I'm talking about. There's 3 bits. There's the armor plating here. And there's little fleshy bits under the arms and on the wrists, and then there's a chain wrapped around her wrists. So again, if it all goes well, it's gonna look really dope, and if all goes poorly, it's gonna look awful. So I'm treading a fine line here tonight, but we're gonna ball so hard, and we're gonna go right in, starting with base coat. No character building, huh? Sad.
I'm immediately regretting my decision to use my large base coating brush. There's so many small crevices on this thing that I immediately tend to start with a smaller brush.
Yeah. So once again, I'm starting with the Rakarth flesh that I've been using for pretty much the entire Locust Force. And then I think I'm going to hit it with the red over the Rakarth flesh. I think that'll blend it a little bit better. But darker areas will still be black. Oh. This is going to be a very experimental model. Fortunately, the Berserker doesn't come out all that often in the Gears Minis game. In comical contrast to last week's character building, I almost managed to finish the character I would have been making if not for vacation in under an hour. Wow!
Bury my shell at Wounded Knee.
So the Turtles soundtrack that I have announces the song before it plays it. Oh, I wish it was Go Ninja. Shoot. I keep toggling back and forth between my reference photo and the chat, which is not helpful. Because I don't even need to do that. I can just look at the chat. It's open over the reference photo.
This is my other... So yes, I am pretty much starting with the undercoat of her armor and working outwards.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
I've got so I'm just starting with the basic black-gray because I want to have at least enough of a contrast from her visor being a solid black and the Darksaber.
Yep.
So I don't want her the rest of her armor to kind of have that same color.
Right.
Neon Knight Riders.
So what have you gotten yourself into today?
I was working at the store all day, so I pretty much just watched Adam's brother play Ghost of Tsushima, which looks freaking dope, by the way.
I've not heard of that.
It's a pretty predictably samurai game. Adam's brother, very, very into samurai stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to the point of self-parody. And, so he's been looking forward to this game for probably 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept joking with him, like, if it didn't meet his expectations, he was going to be livid. Like, absolutely just the most angry human being. And, from what it seemed, his expectations were pretty well met, so... that was good.
Yeah.
It's it's got some stealth elements. It's got some sword fighting, some archery. Fairly standard fare, but like it's not.
Starbase.
I don't know how much you paid attention to the Sekiro controversies.
No, I have not.
So
I kind of like saw some news articles, but never read any of them.
Yeah, basically it was redonkulously hard. Falls into old Japan stuff, but only when it's broody and hypermasculine and that sort of try-hard teenager way. Oh my god! RPG, that's savage! And I love it, because it's incredibly accurate. He's also into spiting his friends, but we'll get into that in a second. Paul played Sekiro for quite a long time. Like, RPD and I were watching it pretty much every time he streamed for quite a while. Assuming we weren't playing Destiny with him, because he also loves that. But, it got really hard. Like, really hard. And, there were controversies surrounding how hard it was and how they handled... Like, there was no easy mode or difficulty setting. It was just brutally hard, or you don't play this game. Which, I get it. I see what they were trying to do there. I don't know from a marketing standpoint that that's the best option. Because it's gonna, like... It's gonna turn off a lot of players.
Yeah.
Where Ghost of Tsushima seems... It's difficult, but it's much more manageable. I really liked the minimalist menu set. Well, it's actually got a fairly minimalist layout altogether, which I really appreciated because it made watching it very easy. Very easy to follow, even if I wasn't playing the game. Reminded me a lot of the Batman Arkham games.
Love those.
Oh, I do too. They're some of my favorites. I was telling Miss Drake and RPD that those are definitely coming to my stream very soon. I think that was last week on this show, because I love them to death. And it is high time that a replay happens. How about you? What did you get up to today?
I was back at the hospital for the more treatments for those cancer monkeys. So that's pretty much going to be my life for like the next 2 weeks or so.
I'm not sure how to respond to that, if I'm honest.
But lots of overtime at least, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
RPD says, like, he hates when he gets reminders that yokai are mostly silly creatures who, unlike the Fae, don't really have the vicious, unpredictable, and incomprehensible angle outside of a few specific ones. Yeah. Truth.
But, so yeah, like, I ended up getting up early had to go into work. And it was pretty much like a full day today for me. Got home, had dinner, and then ran out to my local game shop and picked up some primer.
Oh, right on.
I was out of white, so I got Wraithbone or something.
Yeah, so that's a contrast undercoat.
Yeah, that's kind of all they had, so
Ooh.
I have no idea how that's going to work out for me.
From experience, I'm going to tell you, probably not very well.
Yeah.
It works really well with the contrast paints, if that's what you're doing. But
if that's not what I'm doing?
If that's not what you're doing, it's not strong. But I was telling Mike before the stream that we finally got a restock on Agrax Earthshade, so I can stop worrying about it. And I picked some up for Adam as well. Just based on his reactions to Null and Oil, I would say it's time for him to level up to Agrax Earthshade.
But I also found out that the newest season of Archer popped on Hulu.
Oh,
the
cool.
Archer 1999.
Yep.
So I started watching that before coming up here.
Right on.
And it's hilarious as ever. My wife looks at me weird because I'm like laughing for the 30 minutes straight of the show being on television.
Yeah. You know, I've never watched that show.
I'm sorry, it's great. You should.
I've been told, like, up until recently, I hadn't watched Venture Brothers either.
I have not actually seen Venture Brothers.
It's a lot of fun. It's very odd. My big thing is, like, with the exception of Futurama, for some reason, animation just doesn't work for me.
In
I end
general,
up either
or
falling
just
asleep
comedy?
or ignoring it. And I'm not really sure why that is. But Archer is definitely on my list at some point. A number of the Star Wars shows, I've been told, are very good. Archer is what happens when you ask RPD to write spy stories. That's hysterical. I have been, so like, for those following along, what ends up happening on this show is Rudy and I will end up getting like a base coat and an ink wash down on a lot of the models, and then like we'll inevitably peter out and need to go to bed. So we end up finishing the models in the morning, which realistically is probably for the best because, you know, then it gives the undercoats a chance to dry, and inks tend to be very wet and take quite a long time to dry. So what I do is I'll come back in here and finish, you know, do dry brushing and stuff like that in the morning. And I watch whatever happens to be next in my queue. Right now it's Stargirl. I'm not sure where I fall on that show.
I need to watch this week's episode.
I haven't, I mean, I save it for tomorrow, so I haven't watched it either, but, like, I just don't know where I fall with it. Part of me really likes it.
A lot, but, I can see where it's not like everyone's cup of tea type thing.
Yeah. And I don't know what they're doing in terms of bringing it into the Arrowverse, because it definitely seems like DC's streaming service is not doing very well.
No. I was about to say, I got an email not too long ago from DCU where they're giving away, they're not giving away, but allowing members of DC Universe to get HBO Max for only $5 a month.
Huh. That seems...
so I'm assuming that they may eventually translate over.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I would be a little upset about losing at least the comic book access.
Right.
But I had been using, I think I mentioned this before, last week or something. We had got a free trial of HBO Max, and I'd been watching through several stuff on it.
Yep.
And I just finished the 2 seasons of True Detective.
Oh, how is that?
A lot of people hate the second season. I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also one of those things where it's like it's a lot more in my wheelhouse.
Sure.
So like the first season, which was outstanding, but it was like a character study.
Okay.
So like there's a crime, there's detectives, they're trying to solve what's going on, and it's told non-linearly.
Huh.
So there's like 3 times this, like the main case pops up, and they're like on the 3rd one, but they're giving you backstory like in an interview type setting about like the first 2 times.
Huh.
The second season is straight up linear plot, and it's not. It's more of like an actual detective story than the character study that the first one was.
Huh. That's cool.
So like, yeah, completely in my wheelhouse, and I loved it.
Nice.
But it almost complete 180 from how the first season was like written and shot and designed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then I heard didn't get a chance to watch it before I lost my subscription, but my free trial.
Yeah.
But the 3rd season apparently went back to more like the first season.
Okay. Suddenly, I'm reminded. RPD, I'll get to your comment in just a second. I'm reminded of Penny Dreadful. Did you ever watch that?
I did not. Casey did for a bit, but I never did.
I did not expect to enjoy it nearly as much as I did. It just, the storylines were so deep and detailed. I'm remembering suddenly that there's a new season with, what's-her-face from Game of Thrones instead of Eva Green, and I'm like, I don't... Natalie Dormer is who I'm thinking of. And I'm like, is it worth my time?
So, let me know what you think about this.
Yeah.
So she's got her armor.
Yes.
And her armor is generally pretty colorful.
Indeed.
Obviously. But I was thinking about basing it with Leadbelcher before painting the colors on top of it.
I firmly support that.
Okay.
That's exactly what I've been doing with the sort of anti-locust weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
I do the Leadbelcher where it's necessary. If it is a solid color, like if it's something painted in some way, then I base it with that. But if there's metal to it, yeah, I base it with Leadbelcher and then move from there. And that is likely what I'll do with this chain wrapped around the Berserker's wrist too. And to further, if it doesn't distress it quite enough, the ink wash takes a lot of that too.
Mm-hmm. Jetpack. Might do the same thing. Yeah, more silver in the middle.
RPD says, but yeah, I did eventually finish Dr. Oberon, and I think it might be the peak of my nonsense. Needed 2 house-ruled dice assignments, has only 2 powers, and one of them is one it says should not be taken without another power from the same category, which I then ignored and put every other dice possible into more qualities. RPD, I love it. I love it so much.
Nope, that's not the right brush. This is the right brush.
Boy, I wish there was a Rakarth Flash undercoat spray, because this is taking forever. Like, her only 2 powers are Transmutation and Post-Cognition, which can, as you can imagine, is a nightmare to be forced to use for skill assignments. Yep. Yep, okay. I was gonna say, this has to be... I know you can't hear this, Mike, but I was gonna say this has to be the Mega Man Zero 2 soundtrack, because I know it better than any other video game soundtrack.
That's not TMNT.
Well, I mean, TMNT ended. So we'll move on to... Most of this playlist is Mega Man. Because, you know, in a feat of blatant self-parody. But, yeah, I threw on some TMNT, some Metroid, some F-Zero. The classics. Just before we went live, I was playing Donkey Kong Country. Because that got released on the Switch.
Oh, did it now?
Yeah. I was just like perusing. I was playing Super Mario RPG early in the week, and then my Superboy pooped the bed, deleting my save file off the cartridge. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I wasn't that far in, but far enough to make it irritating.
Yeah.
So I will play it, and I was really loving it. Like, I was really excited about it, but yeah, it's just going to be a while before I can get back to that, until I can get it onto a more stable platform. It doesn't work on the Retron 3 either, which is a hardware issue, but that's fine. So I was looking in the virtual store on the Switch to see if Super Mario RPG was there. And it's not, but then I was like, oh, look, Donkey Kong Country. I had forgotten how tough that game is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it starts out really easy and then gets really hard.
And especially as a completionist.
Yep.
It's like, several of the things like the roll jump.
Yeah.
Like, they don't tell you stuff like that, but it's, like, necessary to, like, get everything.
Right. I'm all about, you know, finishing a game for the plot, but like there are certain games that, yeah, I'm a completionist for. Mega Man Zero 3, for example, I will never not beat to 100% because it's of the Zero games, it's the easiest to do so. But it's still really freaking hard. RPD says, it gets even better. I know I talked with Taffy about this, but I don't know if I have with you. My favorite part of doing full sheets for everything is learning more about the characters and the making of them. And a good example, Postcognition was not in the original design for the character. It was mainly added due to not being able to take more qualities from your power source. That's awesome. But yeah, I regrettably I only have 2 ways of playing Super Mario RPG, and I really want to because I just watched Paul play Paper Mario, and now I'm like, I really want to play this. And so that's my Retron 5, which is connected to my streaming rig, and the Superboy, and I'm like, I don't want to risk deleting my save file again with the Superboy, and the Retron 5 is currently, like, I'm not going to pull that out of my computer just so I can play one game.
Yeah. And
I don't particularly like sitting at my computer when I could be literally anywhere else in the house. Which is a bummer, brought on by remote teaching. Like, I had to sit here for so many hours, so many days, that I just I don't even like sitting at my desk anymore, which sucks. Because this used to be, like, my spot.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And the times that I feel like, in the few months that I was working from home, I did not like it.
Yeah.
Like I was getting frustrated, and during meetings though, at least I could turn around and start painting.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't turn on the
camera.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I definitely did plenty of that. The Superboy basically lived in here. And then I realized, oh wait, why am I using the Superboy? I'm just turning the Retron 5 on. I would have the controller in my lap. I basically had to turn my camera on, but I would just, because my camera's here and my zoom screen is over here, but my main monitor is here, so I was just sitting there like this, and it looked like I was, breaking the fourth wall and properly looking at my camera when really I was, watching Mario. And every once in a while, my coworkers, the ones that were paying attention started to catch on at the end, because they'd be like, your expression is incredibly gaunt. And every once in a while you wince. Does that mean you're dying? I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely means Mario has died.
Belcher. All the silver I need. Or at least all the metal color. Sorry, I got a text from Christopher. Had to respond. Nothing too important?
No, it's pretty important. But nothing I can talk about on stream.
Obviously.
I think one of the things I can mention, Christopher and I go back and forth a lot about Coheed and Cambria, the band.
Yeah.
And the guitar that I bought recently, that finally got here, is one very similar to the ones that Coheed uses on stage. So I was pretty excited about that. And so was he. Yeah, crotchal region. Very white. It's been a lot of fun, but I'd be lying if I said that making the SCRPG engine do low power, high finesse wasn't something you have to wrangle it into. Yeah, we've had a couple like that at the store, RPD, that I had one guy, I think I mentioned this on stream at one point, try and build Brigitte from Overwatch, and it did not go well with him. It did not go well for him. I think he also has a very skewed idea of what she does. Whoa. But that's fine. He actually popped by today. It's good to see him. RPD, I think he's in many ways a lot like you. Career-wise. He's a good kid. And we really appreciate him coming into the store. You good?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start with the inside of her legs.
There you go.
She's got one of those pants with like the two tones in it.
Ah, yes. Of course.
This will probably need a second coat, but I'm excited. I'm getting a little bit more Legion stuff coming in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Such as?
I managed to track down one of the Clone Wars box sets, like the starter set.
That's
so I'm
spicy.
getting a bunch of clones and stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm
we haven't had those in for a while.
What?
We haven't had those in for a while.
Yeah. I was very excited when I found a shop that had one.
Yeah. I was looking through my boss's upcoming orders. And I think he's finally found a line for all the Fantasy Flight stuff.
Oh, good.
Basically, I guess what's happening is Asmodee is doing their own distribution, which is a very odd decision. But he's got all our Arkham orders, like, ready to go. As soon as he sees that they're not on back order anymore, he's gonna pull the trigger. Which... Oh! Speaking of Arkham card game, Sammy, our resident god of Arkham,
yeah,
played with Dexter He did all of Night of the Zealot. And he is convinced that Dexter is broken.
He's really good.
I'm inclined to agree with him. Like he sent me some screenshots, table pictures. He was playing with his folks, who had never played before, but like, he built all their decks, and he's like, yeah, this character is utterly nuts. And I said, I don't get the feeling the promos are tested the way they need to be.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I guess the base ability is the same, but yeah, the like Molly, is insane if you get her out.
So good. And you read Blood of Belshandor.
I finished it Monday.
Awesome. Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't finish it in one sitting, but definitely in one day. She's a very cool character.
Yeah.
Like, she's almost investigator tier herself.
Yeah.
Just in how competent she is. Honestly, I got to go through the Dexter Drake materials for Arkham 2nd Edition and see if she's even mentioned, because she is a very, very cool character.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought I would say these words, but I am literally painting a berserker's butt crack. Oh, my idiot neighbors are at it again.
More fireworks to add, a couple around my neighborhood as well.
Get over yourselves, people. 4th of July ended 2 weeks ago.
But explosions are so much fun. I can't fault people for that.
This is true. I was telling my student, Elsie, because she was worried about going into chemistry next year. And I said, I have this undying love for chemistry because... my professor in college, once a week for 2 semesters, we had class 3 times a week. One of those 3 classes every week, he would blow something up.
Yeah.
And we never knew when it was going to be, so our attention was always... And he'd always bring the materials, because, as any good teacher will tell you don't always know when you're going to get to something. So... he had our attention from the minute he stepped into the classroom. It was brilliant.
You never knew.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant.
So between Sabine's pants having 2 tones of brown and her holsters and belt being a 3rd shade of brown...
Oh no!
I'm stretching my brown colors thin. But I'll get to use my Agrax Earth shade over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've got Mournfang Brown for the bulk of the pants.
Yep.
I'm using Xandri Dust for, like, the lighter inner...
Yep, that makes sense.
Alt tone.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to be using my Chocolate Brown from
Vallejo. Yep.
Like a darker brown for the holsters.
Sure. 3 shades of brown, the 70s are stirring in their slumber.
So last night's Arkham was a ton of fun.
Yeah! Yeah, that was a good time. I mean, record-setting time in Arkham First Edition, but the second edition game we played afterward was super dope.
Hey, I'm just glad someone didn't have to save me this week.
I know, right?
And I managed to become God of Arkham.
You sure did. Oh my goodness. That was possibly the most gaudiest God of Arkham we've had in a while.
Just running through, just making it to the first gate and killing everything.
That was epic.
Yeah. You're very fortunate about having that holy water in that opening hand.
Yeah, like, I don't think any of us saw how good holy water is.
Oh, because generally it's like for the entire turn you get the bonus, but you very rarely fight more than once.
Right. But, like, holy water could push you over the edge on an Elder God combat. And I feel like the flavor on it, in this case, instead of throwing it at an enemy like it is in second edition, it's anointing yourself, making yourself the weapon. Then you free up a hand slot. Might have to get Richard's ruling on that one. Just because it seems a little busted. But even still, like, that's super good.
But yeah, like base 6 for all combat that turn.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, we're almost done with this cream color. Just into sort of. I wasn't initially going to do these crevices the way I did, but I feel like I can sort of mix the red into it now. Of course, every time I turn the model, I find another giant gap. Shoot. Not enough coverage. Might have been. Okay.
More of this chocolate brown.
Running out?
Yeah.
that's part of the chain. Alright, I think we've laid down the cream base here. Once I get the red down, I'll probably put more cream in certain places, but... I like how you wait until after you've painted the butt crack to mention that you spot giant gaps. Why am I capping that? I just need to figure out what color is the thing. Alright, what color is the thing with the guy in the place?
Purple.
Sure. That is not the right folder. There we go. Could not find the app. I'm awful in that way. No. What? No, that's too brown. Yeah, that's way too brown. Alright, it's too red. Try remapping this color. I'm not thrilled with it. You, come here. No brown. Alright. They are suggesting Mephiston Red and Agrax Earthshade, so I am going to go with it. It's going to look ridiculous for a minute, because this is a really, really bright red.
Yeah.
Alright, you know what? No. I'm going with my gut. I'm using a corn red. Oh, there's Squid Orange. Oh my god. I have all the colors I need right here. Hold on. Here I'm like looking all around to try and find... Yep. Oh. That's an interesting way to do it. Rudy, come with me on this journey.
Okay, what's up?
Doombull Brown is...
Sorry, what brown?
Doombull.
Okay.
Sort of a reddish brown. A brown reddish. Henna color, they call it, on the Three Stooges. If I put this down, and then go into Wazdaka Red over the top of it, so it's this into this one into this one, and then highlight with that. I know it's kind of off the top. With Agrax Earthshade in between the first two layers. I think that could work.
What type of effect are you going for?
It's like a sort of a weird fleshy business.
It's like kind of a torn, sinewy flesh type thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, that would work out pretty well.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give that a shot then. That is the top suggestion on the app. And I didn't want to trust it at first, but I do think it'll work. Question is, do I need to put down more white first? And we'll find out in just a second. Because I'm going to start right under his armpit. Guess I should close the Rakarth flesh.
So I was telling Casey that I was working on Sabine today.
Yeah.
And she just asked me, "What's your plan for that?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Well, what you could do is just set her up, put up some paper towels behind her, and just throw paint." I was like, "That's actually really funny."
It's not a bad idea.
It just make it unique because it's just mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I think this will work perfectly. Just kind of let it bleed onto the white just a little bit, because that's how flesh sort of naturally goes. Principal swap? Oh, the new thing I'm willing to take bets on for SCRPG now that how long do I need until I need to house roll a dice assignment is over is how many builds in will I get before I can spend my retcon on anything rather than a principal swap. Good question, RPD. The current number is 3. I think I might switch to a small base coat brush. This one's just being a little bit unwieldy. Oh.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was just off the camera. I'm going to take your laugh as either somewhere in the double digits or never. I was gonna guess like 6 RPD. Not up into the double digits, man. That seems excessive. I don't know, my tendency to combine archetypes in the story sense, not the mechanic, from wildly different genres and how writing-wise I've specialized in just about everything ill-conducive to traditional comic book stuff, I would believe the answer could be 10 to 12. Okay, that's fair.
Dip too far into the water, Jed.
Hey?
Abaddon Black.
Ugh. That's one that I think, like, you'd think that Abaddon Black would come out so much more frequently, and it doesn't.
I use it a fair amount. I mean,
Fair
I guess
amount.
it's like my only like black. I've got like a black and the Vallejo like black gray for like slightly lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Too much opposite. What do we got here?
Yeah, I think this technique is working pretty okay. The trick is slopping enough over onto the white to make it look natural and not like, I don't know, odd. Like, I know I'm also gonna, like, a lot of the white plates are gonna get a dry brush of gray at some point. Oh, excuse me. 3 builds in this series I've done are Blaxploitation Hero, Extra Dorky Scientist, Fashion-based ex-villain / martial arts assassin, and therapist / soul-manipulating mage, and the one for this week's crusading lawyer / physical powerhouse. Yikes, RPD. For the moment, Mist. Yeah. Still wet. We're working on that, though. How's it going, man? Goes. That's about right. The air is just that right quality. Ugh, I hear that. I absolutely hear that. I got home today and I was like, I can't breathe. It's soup. But also, like, gross. I am working on a Locust Berserker. She looks a little silly right now, but once I get the ink wash down and some blending done, she's going to look pretty dope. Broody is working on Star Wars stuff.
Sabine Wren, in particular.
Yep. Shockingly, the lawyer's by far the easiest one, and the one most heavily leans on the non-mundane side proved to be the real brutal one. Yeah, well, sometimes we're surprised by that sort of thing, RPD. That's a base coat. The skin color, like once I get the sepia, there it is, ink wash, that's going to dull it out a lot. And then it'll have a gray, specifically the Storm Vermin fur, dry brush over the top. And that should give it the skin tone that we're looking for. And the brown bits are going to be red, but this is once again just I'm using a layer paint, but it is a base coat functionally. The fashion-based villain martial arts assassin was also pretty easy once I got a little creative in interpreting certain powers. Yeah, right on. That'll track RPD, for sure. Having a little bit of trouble with this shoulder. Being uncooperative. There we go. That's better. I had a weird character idea the other day, but I forgot to add it to my ongoing Rambles Google Doc. Is that good or bad, Mist? Ian's here! Is it getting hit in the face with a wet blanket when you walk outside weather where you... Yes! That is an incredible way of describing it. Very, very much so. Bad, because now I can't remember. That's fair. Well, I hope you do. Because remembering things is good. I like remembering things. It doesn't happen very often. At least not often enough. Alright, I think we got her fleshy bits mostly taken care of other than the groinal region. Some of these ribs with a little bit more of the white. I think I erased too much of it. Oh god. Alright. It's not quite that swampy here yet, it's just the perfect combo of suck for post-osmotic lungs. Yeah. Oh, Mistrake, you missed a bit of kind of legendary Arkham business yesterday. We won in 90 minutes, and one of your Elder God brethren showed up. Old Gadanothwa. Or no, was it Shub that showed up? It was Shub, wasn't it?
No, Shub was who I pulled out when we were doing this Who Gets to Draw Monsters.
Oh, right.
So I immediately got disqualified.
Yep, Broody got fired. We didn't have our weekly Hound of Tyndalos lore. We didn't need it. So RPD gets to save that for another week. You were D&Ding? Yep, that's fair. That's fair. My D&D game is Tuesday nights, and we keep finding ways to drag our Warforged Titan with us against the DM's will. Although I recently had to lecture the party about not spending their healing slots healing up NPCs.
That's... I don't know. If you're role-playing and you're role-playing your character, like, and it makes sense for them to heal...
No, I mean, again, operative word there being waste.
Yeah.
Like, when there are PCs actively dying, like making death saves, don't waste your spell on the NPCs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Both Trevor and myself were making death saves, and Jenny used a healing spell on our bird familiar. And I was like, no, don't do that.
And the familiar will come back, right?
Yes. Well, it's not a familiar is not. Sorry, familiar in non-mechanical familiar. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Warforged Titans do not fit well most places. That is true, Ian. But we have made him fit. His name is Prime, and he's awesome. So I'm looking ahead to basing this guy tomorrow. It is going to take no time at all to get his base covered with the Astro Granite that I use.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so big. Wow. Warforged Titans. Not with that option. But see, yeah, that's the thing, Miss Drake. Like, we have to cross a river with him. So our wizard is intending to freeze said river so that we can cross with Prime. I have no idea how Alex is going to counter that one, but I'm sure he will find a way to. He's quite good at it. In the campaign before the one we're currently playing, we turned an NPC into a full-on party member, essentially. The DM had her sheet and leveled her with us and everything. Yeah, dude, so... This is one of my favorite stories of 5th edition so far. When I was working at the store very early in the time that I've been there, there was a Wednesday night game, as well as a Magic draft, which I was in charge of running. That was my gig. But I was kind of getting to the point where I was done playing Magic, and so I would just like use my store credit to sponsor someone and get some cards so I could sell them later and get money. Anyway, long story, not worth telling. One of the PCs, played by Alex the Baboon, rolled so well on a deception check that he convinced the dwarf keeper of the record, like the high keeper of the records for the king, that one of the party members was a lesser king. And so the DM was like, okay, I need you to narrate it. What do you tell him? And Alex goes, don't you know who this is? This is Lord Esteban von Tubrick of the Swaddle Dog clan. His deception was, he nat 20'd the roll. The keeper of the records nat 1'd it. So, thus it was born that this dwarf berserker that we had became Lord Esteban von Tuberk of the Swaddle Dog clan. And the High King sent an emissary to protect him because he was a berserker, he's a barbarian, he doesn't wear armor. And the High King was concerned. So my character, Halvar, the DM said, okay, we need a new character. Do you want to play? And that's how I started playing 5th edition, is because this deception check was so successful that it literally birthed my character. It was really, really cool. I've been playing ever since. And Eberron is also one of my favorite campaign settings. I absolutely love it. This is D&D, not Dwarf Fortress. You don't need to go that deep into subsystems.
Yeah, I've got my D&D, or one of my D&D games on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That I'm looking forward to playing. It's going to be interesting.
Are you playing it or running it?
My character died last time.
Huh?
My character died last time.
Oh, okay.
Through no fault of, anything.
Yeah.
It's like the DM just rolled, 2 nat 20s on, spells that did 3d10 damage to me.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point in time, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I can't stop that from happening. No matter how much I do. The fact that my AC's already 20 and you roll 2 nat 20s and still hit with the third one of the spells.
Ooh.
So, I just took it to the face.
Yeah.
We were in a big fight with a bunch of cultists. And, the little guys, I was just, wading through them.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody, I didn't even bother to fight them. I was just making contested strength checks to push through the throngs of enemies.
That's awesome.
To get to the big guy, because that's my job.
Yep. What are you playing?
I'm playing a fighter.
Okay, fair.
Our barbarian left, and so my previous mantle of being the second best at everything became being the primary damage dealer.
Gotcha. So yep.
Yeah. So I tend to go for the big bosses and stuff like that, and I went up completely reamed into him.
Mm-hmm.
But then got surrounded by his 4 under bosses.
Oh yeah.
And the 4 of them all shot me with their magic spell, which I forget which it was. It was inflict wounds or something.
Yep.
And then yeah, like I said, just 2 nat 20s and the third one beat my AC of 20. I was just well, okay, guess I'm going to take that to the face.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other 3 party members all have healing abilities, and they all almost forgot to heal me.
Ooh.
So I was I hadn't made the death throws yet, but
yeah.
He was if it makes it around, those guys are just gonna attack you and just get a bunch of instant death fails on you.
Yeah.
And I'm just that makes sense. I'm perfectly fine losing a character. At that point in time, it's just bad luck. But
yeah. So I'm playing as a Lizardman Barbarian, who has incredibly low charisma. So he basically doesn't talk. He just when there's social scenes going on, he just sits in the corner with our pet bird and eats chicken.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I guess
Jacqueline is playing a Air Genasi fighter. Trevor is a Warforged paladin. Jenny is a dwarf druid. And Emily is a, I want to say elf or half elf maybe, wizard.
Yeah, I'm playing actually. My fighter's a Triton.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, I have literally made Aquaman a character.
Oh my god, that's awesome! I love it.
Like, I run around with a trident and shield.
Yep.
That's just how I fight. And yeah, I find every excuse to use the trident ability to talk to fish.
That's awesome.
In the campaign, to the GM's like chagrin. Like he gets so frustrated about it.
But that's what GMs are there for.
Yeah. So like a few sessions ago, we were like, some kids got kidnapped by by a Flint and some hyena men.
Yeah.
Except it happened at a riverbank. And so like I dove in and was just like, hey guys, did you see anything happen? Which way did they go?
Yeah.
And so he's like started having like the fish kind of direct me. And yeah, that's how we chased down these guys.
That's awesome.
Our tracking method was me using fish.
Fish show location. Interesting point on that. I actually keep track of how many natural ones and natural 20s, both us as a party and Alex as a DM have rolled over the course of the campaign. At present, Alex has rolled 19 natural 20s. The party has rolled 34. As far as natural ones, Alex has rolled 18, and the party has rolled 33. Which I shouldn't be surprised that the numbers are that close, but like that is impressive.
Okay, after like 3 attempts, I think I'm gonna stick with this quasi-checkered pattern on her shoulder.
Right on.
So like my first attempt was with a brush.
Yep.
And it did not look good.
It did not.
The second time I took a toothpick and used my pliers to kind of cut a flat squared edge.
Yep.
And ironically, that did not turn out as well as I'd hoped.
Right.
So my last option was using this katana brush. It's really just more of a plastic tip.
Yeah.
For drawing lines and stuff, and that seemed to work okay.
Nice.
Not stellar, but good enough. Still got to do a little bit of work over it, because that's where her like call sign is, on that shoulder.
Right. Well, I'm doing chains now, which is sort of working. We'll see once we get it distressed if it holds up. Our party is me, the Tiefling Light Cleric, and the Dwergar Fighter using the Rune Knight subclass from Unearthed Arcana, a Changeling Inquisitive Rogue that's a massive sociopath, and then the Warforged Assassin Shadow Sorcerer who's just made edge. He's just the most edgelord. So much edge that his name is Dagger. My character calls him Knife. I love it. So you mentioned, Broody, making Aquaman as a character. I made Gnome Captain Cold.
Nice.
It was awesome. He even had a cold gun. Courtesy of Alex's character.
My sister played in our one of our Star Wars games. And she managed to inadvertently make Wonder Woman.
Oh, wow.
So much so that at one point in time, my wife was GMing, so Casey, trying to deal with the fact that there were 4 Jedi, because we were playing Force and Destiny, one of whom was literally pretty much Wonder Woman. She had a bounty hunter whose opening salvo was throwing a thermal detonator at us.
Oh my god.
And my sister just kind of grabbed it, like cupped her hands over it and just took it to the chest.
Oh my god.
And survived, and then just the rest of us like didn't take damage from it, and then we just beat face.
That's terrific. RPD, is that DM's Guild stuff? Is that what you're talking about with your setting building idea? Is that what you mean? Okay. Your coolest idea for D&D is how you plan on incorporating DM's Guild stuff into your setting. One of the plot hooks I have for players is making an expedition to the hidden continent and use DM's Guild for what's there to make it as alien to the... Aw, that's cool. Yeah. I like doing things that are just completely out of the... Like, the players are not seeing it coming. I am not... As much as I'm very good at running Sentinel Comics RPG, I am not good at running D&D. Mostly because I can't effectively split my attention like that. There's just too much going on. To the point where, like, when Alex Maxwell and I run Call of Cthulhu, we run it together. I do all the storytelling, and Alex does the numbers stuff. Which makes for an interesting dynamic, and the players actually really enjoy it, but it doesn't work quite as well for D&D, we've discovered. You made Iron Legacy the Conquest Paladin. I had him die so the cleric could come back. The cleric got one shot by a set of unlucky ones. Oh, yeah, rolls, yep. Meanwhile, the cleric is Felicia with the personality of the animated series Unity, basically. Awesome. May have gotten a little sloppy there. Fix it in a second. Alright. We got chains! Might be the most excessive meta angle I've ever thought of yet, and from the reactions it's the most effective. Nice. I've seen a story/combat GM split done before. It can work. Yeah, it does. Alex just has a better handle on what our players have for equipment/combat abilities, especially in Call of Cthulhu, because there's just a lot going on the sheet. Oh, there it is. And it is what it is. It's like, you know, it's fun.
Man. Details.
Details are a nightmare, dude.
I was about to say, I'm looking at like a close-up of her jetpack, and it's got like the so it's like this light purple, and it's got like these dark purple wings that feather out. And I was about to try that until like the mold lines of the actual like mini do not work for that at all.
Oh, no.
So I just try to do something to make it have the two-tone.
Yep.
And it looks good.
Good is good.
Good is good. Tiny brush out.
Doombo Brown go away. Rakarth Flesh come back. Dog breath. Missed a bit with the culture. Oh dear. Because apparently these chains are drilled into the Berserker's hand, which seems painful.
Yeah.
But explains a lot. Oh dear. Brush Cap, come back. I mean, if I had chains impaled into my hands, I'd be angry all the time too. Yeah, for real, right? Alright. Time to distress the chains. If I can open this paint pot. Oh, wow. That was a noisy paint pot. Alright. Not overly concerned about getting this on the flesh because her flesh is going to be darkened up quite considerably too. Hence my use of gross old brush. The old red Citadel small dry brush from when I was 12. And a little bit of brown.
Five.
For that dingy look. Cool. All right. Next. What's the inking? I think that's inking. Level as I sit here and stare at this miniature. Yeah, inking. Inking seems good.
I am finally to the helmet.
Nice.
Next layer will be the green.
So Mistrake, this is where you should see some of the coloring become more berserker-like. And recalling there is going to be a gray dry brush over most of this as well.
Nope, going to Smart Bush. have to keep telling myself I did this to myself.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I'm not over the moon with how this model came out, but like it'll look fine once I get all of it done, you know?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, I'm doing like the 18,000 different details on this helmet now.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm going to move my camera for a touch. Maybe you can see that on the screen.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. That's what I'm aiming for.
Ugh. When you said Sabine, my first thought was her art might be challenging, says Ian. I cannot express enough how much the dry brush is going to help this model, because right now it looks like a pile of vomit. While I'm waiting, since I've got big tray out, how ready were you for learning about Mouser size? It was kind of the defunct land that I never expected never thought I needed RPD. Never knew I needed. I'd forgotten that it was a thing, but it is definitely a thing. Yep, this is true, Ian. I have a vision. I'm going to see it through. And that vision does not involve brake fluid. I'd forgotten it was a thing, but that's because Kevin just joked about it. I had not forgotten it was a thing, but that's because Kevin has joked about it. Yes, that's true. He has joked about it. But it's like, it's those throwaway jokes that I don't think about a second time. I don't give a second thought to. Macho Duck is in DDR. Oh my god. I should get Colin to play DDR Disney Remix on stream. I think he's done DDR streams before. I give half of mine to trying to sculpt an E-hole, an emergence hole, on the base of this Berserker, and then I was like, I don't feel like doing that. Oh yeah, that was funny. I'm at the poke the Astro Granite phase so that it clumps up where I want it to. Don't you also hate it when you leave your loose papers next to your several cans of gasoline, totally by accident and not at all because you need the insurance money? Indeed. Alright, now that the ink is starting to set in, she's starting to look a little bit better. A few minutes here.
I've gotten my tiniest brush out,
Yeah?
trying to do those silver outlines,
Dude, you are a braver man than I.
and like I don't even think you can see it.
What shade of silver are you using?
Lead belcher.
You're just lead belchering it? Yeah.
I'm just adding a lead belcher over the little red accents,
Ugh.
and yeah, you just like you can't really see it at all. Like it's just too tiny of a detail.
Ay, ay, ay. I mean, there are definitely there have been models that I've done that sort of thing with, and I'm just like, why did I bother?
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of to that point right now, but then it's like I've done it on like half of it, so I need to finish it.
Right. Yep.
Because, like, yeah, like, you can't really see it, but it's like you can just kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not gonna, like, notice it.
What are the features of Western D&D? I don't know. Off the top of my head. Dry, you big ugly galoot. For the first time on the show, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone, we are literally watching paint dry as we wait for the ink to dry on Madam Berserker over here.
I'm just getting to my inks now, so...
Yeah, we're good. No rush, no rush. I went ahead and did the Astrogranite because why not? Eventually, what I'll do is I will hit that with some Nuln Oil and then a dry brush, and that's what causes it to look super rad. But that's probably a chore for tomorrow, Zach. Well, we'll see. Might get there tonight. Who knows? I also can't wait for the eventual Defunct TV You and Me kid. Yeah.
I'm also trying to not go... I'm trying to go a little bit more sparingly on this Agrax Earthshade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't want to, like, cover up all of the tiny details that I painted.
Exactly, right?
Guarantee that Agrax is only going on her pants. I'm gonna use a Nuln Oil on like her boots and the other like blacker type things as opposed to the browns.
Yeah, that makes sense. What is giving the gray treatment? Looks like pretty much everything, but primarily the feet. It's kind of just everything. Heavier on the feet and hands though. Like here. take is we want to believe that opens that the individuals take, so if you wanted to justify your bard levels as a 50 stats in cowboy. Dwarves and dusters. Well, you can always pick up a wrench tech 3-shooter, Ian. So Jacqueline's character in our Eberron campaign is a gunslinger, and because in the previous campaign, the one with the Captain Cold character, Alex's character invented guns, specifically the cold gun, but then ultimately he did invent, more conventional gun technology as well. He was a kobold tinkerer, or artificer rather. He would inscribe the initials WT, wrench tech, on the handle area of the gun, and so when Jacqueline's character got her guns in our campaign with other Alex, he said he similarly described the initials WT on the handle of the guns. So we were very excited about that. In store, or I guess in canon wrench tech. Oh, we're almost there.
Okay. I think that is my wash.
Awesome, spectacular. Yeah, as my inking dries, I'm becoming more and more happy with this model. She looks gnarly and angry.
Good up close shot.
There we go. Oh my goodness.
But the light is terrible. Too much light.
There you go. Wow, man. She looks great.
And then, yeah, saber. Jetpack.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's just gonna need a set for tonight.
Yeah, I think we might be reaching the end here. I was hoping to get a little bit further with the gray dry brush, but I think it's gonna have to wait till tomorrow because there's just a couple of clumps of ink that are gonna take a little bit longer. Can you get a close up of the helmet?
Of her helmet?
Yeah.
I can try.
We'll give it a shot, Ian. Hold tight.
Like of my reference or the actual like helmet that I painted?
Of the one you painted, I think.
Oh. Get that lamp closer there. Hopefully I'll wash it out.
Oh yeah, there you go. Wow. That is so cool, man.
And I guess just for reference, yeah.
Yeah, I would say you nailed it. I would say you absolutely nailed it.
So I'm thinking, what was that? Oh, knocked over Katana.
Yeah,
And
that's all right. She
off her
deserves
base.
it. What?
I was about to say I knocked Katana off, and she fell off her base,
Oh no.
which is fine. I'll just like just a couple drops of glue, and I'll get her feet back on.
Yeah, she's not a difficult one to reattach.
No. Yeah, dim in my leg too. So I was looking at dry brushing, and I'm trying to think of what I want to do to it.
Yep.
So she's obviously got a lot of the back down there, like very spray like spray paint, like splatter.
Mm-hmm.
So I might like take my dry brush, and instead of swiping back and forth, is just kind of dab it.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
And I think with her armor, I might just dry brush. What is this? Not Sigmarite, the other one, Necron.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
So you get kind of that brush-worn metal armor underneath the lead belcher base with the colors on top.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense. I'm just taking a second. I found a couple of areas that I wasn't happy with the ink coverage. This looks inconsistent, so... Get some patching real quick.
Down to there, down to there. And bam. Katana is fixed.
Yay! Alright, well, with that, I think it's probably time to call it a night, don't you?
Yeah, a touch early, but yeah.
Yep. So, we got to where we wanted to be, and that's important. So thank you all very much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Broody and I will be back here next week, continuing where we left off. I will be starting in on the COG. I'm so excited. And who knows what else we'll have on the table. Thanks, as always, to everybody. Thank you, Broody. Always a pleasure, my dude.
It is.
And we'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.
See you, everyone.
Bye.